guys, Gareth here from Heartfelt Horsemanship. A few years ago I did an article called The Art of Doing Nothing, and this concept is very similar to what people call undemanding time, but I wanted to make it more extreme than just undemanding time, because people get confused and they start viewing undemanding time as going and grooming their horse. Grooming the horse is for the horse's health, yes, but they always kind of feel like you're doing it to them as opposed to for them. Most people aren't even watching their horse during this time. So I want to specify the difference between undemanding time and the art of doing nothing, or dwell time. So the classical composer Debussy once said that the beauty of music is in the space between the notes. And I kind of feel the same applies to horsemanship. The beauty of horsemanship is in the rests that you give between for a horse. You can go out and drill something for an hour and you're not going to get it as good as when the horse tries and makes a good effort getting close, and you give a rest, and you give a proper long rest. So you will notice this thoroughbred that I'm on at the moment isn't running around as I got on. I'm going to loose rein, he's just standing, and he's actually only just 3 hours into our program. And the reason is we give dwell time. When I give a release, or when I'm not asking for something, I expect the horse to wait for me, so I sit and give him rubs. Okay. So I'm going to go through what we call our anti-flight checks. I'm going to show you the approximate time that I give between requests, for that we're just being with the horse rather than asking for something. Okay, so I'll ask for my wandering stop. Gives to me, and I'll release. And he's having a good chew on my toe. I don't really mind. I'm not going to smack him for engaging with me. Horses don't generally engage with each other with one on top of the other than breeding season. So this is interesting for him. He's trying to engage with me in whatever way he can. I'm not going to criticize that at all. I'm not going to kick him on the jaw. I might like wiggle my foot, but I'm not going to punish a horse. I never want to punish a horse, but I'm definitely not going to punish them for wanting to engage with me. So I'm giving him a nice long dwell time. Now we have got the science to back up. This art of doing nothing actually improves the horse's learning ability. The science of it's called recess training, where when a horse does the right thing, even if it's not perfect, you give a long release and give the horse a rest. They will acknowledge that that is close to the right thing to do, and then as you go you can ask them for a little bit more refinement, but you don't sit and drill it over and over and over. If you watch people that sit and drill a horse till it's drenched with sweat for flying lead changes, for example, you'll see those horses have a terrible attitude to flying lead changes. The person that goes and works on it gets it close, gives them a rest, moves on to the next thing. Those horses are happier about those things. Good, so I'll go to the next of my anti-flight checks. I'll check the wandering stop on the other side. And release. Now, after this introduction, I've got some videos of a student working a young horse, dealing more with this concept, and I've got another video which is just Jamie hanging out in the paddock with the horses, and that's another aspect of it. It's not just about training, it's also about putting the time into your relationship with the horse. This aspect is great in terms of having a horse that is willing to be caught. If you go to catch your horse in the paddock and they run for the hills, it could be a little bit of feedback and saying, actually you didn't give me enough dwell time, we didn't practice the art of doing nothing enough for the last session. But Jamie and I often for years have just gone and hung out with the herd, and that has a lot to do with that relationship aspect of our horses. People always say, oh, your horses love people. The reason is we'll go there and ask nothing of them. That's that undemanding aspect. We'll just hang out, give them scratches, have them scratch us, sometimes just sit in the paddock while they graze, and they'll normally come over and say hi and play with our shoes, play with Jamie's hat, as if you've seen the photos on our Facebook page recently. That is valuable time. That's putting something back to the horses. Sitting and grooming the hair off them, they don't see the value in that. But coming and giving a rub, that means a lot. Great guys, enjoy the rest of the video. We'll do some talkovers. If you enjoy this video, please like and share. Comment below if you have any questions or suggestions, and we'll see you soon. So with our recent discussions about the art of doing nothing, Naomi is working on the very same concept with Cupid. So we're building how long Cupid can just stand and do nothing. And obviously that means Naomi's just got to stand and do nothing. The constant desire to do something and ask for the next request makes a horse anxious. We all know the saying about depression is living in the past, anxiety is living in the future. It's very much true with horses, because if they're thinking about what's coming next, they become anxious and try and avoid the pressure that's going to come on. Cupid has a tendency to rush around, so this is a very valuable exercise for her. She can learn that just standing is the right answer. 90% of the time we want them to just wait for us. If we want that, we need to do nothing with them a lot. Now the other benefit of this here is that Cupid's learning her two best places in the world. Two best places in the world for a horse should be with us or where we ask them to be. So right now Naomi's asked her to be out there, and the minute she even thinks, you can see that time Naomi asked for the backup when she was just leaning forward. It's a very good observational skill, is watching when they're starting to come forward, because we want to do less earlier rather than too much too late. So Naomi's probably at around a phase 2 or 3 there, as opposed to having to wait until the horse is in full speed and get up to phase 4. If you don't understand it, the phases, it's part of our program. We talk about as gentle as possible but as firm as necessary, and it's a gradual progression up to as firm as necessary. So you give the horse a good deal, and if they don't respond, then you only take it up firmer. There we go. And focus is like a muscle. This ability to just stand is not in Cupid's vocabulary right now. So we're going to build how long she can just stand for. You see, she keeps wanting to creep back in, do something. She's like, hang on a minute, you just want me to stand here? Now right now, even when she's just standing, she's ready to go. So as we build this, Cupid will start getting her head down, and she'll just stand and relax when we ask her to stay back there. So she's got both eyes and both ears on Naomi, which is a good thing. She's really paying attention. What are you going to do? Ask me for next. I want her to keep paying attention, but I want her to relax. So I'm looking at those eyes. There we go. Start of relaxation. So there's a few areas I look for relaxation on a horse. Head below the wither is relaxed on dopamine. Okay. Wrinkles underneath on the lower eyelid. Wrinkles on the top eyelid is actually just interest. But wrinkles on the lower eyelid, and then tight nose. So even if she licks and chews now, which is a sign of going from the reactive side of the brain to the reasoning side of the brain, she's still holding on to a certain amount of anxiety here. You can see that the nostrils kind of pulled tight. So we might accept less for today, and as we build it up, we'll look for more. As we go through, we want to improve that level, and we want to get complete relaxation. Her head's still up in the air. Yes, her eyes kind of go soft. Oh, there we go. So we don't mind her grazing here, as long as she doesn't move her feet. You can pick up and ask for her to move back if she moves her feet. But if she wants to graze, that's fine, as long as her feet don't move. There's a lick and chew, the head coming down. Any good form of leadership, consistency brings relaxation. If you know what your leader is going to ask of you, if you know what's expected of you, you can relax. If you never know what's coming, you're anxious. There we go. And then we'll bring her back in and give her some cuddles. And we're going to build that time. So Naomi's got coronavirus and forced extra holidays. She doesn't have it, but the whole country has closed the schools. So she's going to get lots of time to work on this with her mare. And this is the other part of the art of doing nothing. When you cuddle, you're not expecting everything. She's not picking ticks off Cupid. She's not grooming the hair off her. She's had a groom for her health. Grooming is for the health, to stop things like rain scald, to keep them bright and shiny. We don't over groom, we just get the dust off. After a rainstorm we do a full groom and get the feet cleaned out and everything. But we don't do an hour grooming every single day. So you can see Cupid's nice and healthy. This is just to be with your horse. Just do nothing with her. And look how Cupid melts into this. This is where the bonds are made. And we don't have to go and drill the exercise we were working on until we're blue in the face. She's figuring it out. We'll get there over time. This is more important than drilling something, because that'll just make them hate the task if we drill it and drill it and drill it. So she understands the backup. We're now getting her to understand to stay out there, and now she's going to come and hang with Naomi as long as we can. Cool guys, please like and share the video. Comment below if you've got any questions, or if you have a video that you would like to see on our YouTube channel. And we'll be posting videos. Jamie's posting a video on a thoroughbred she's working with. I'm going to be posting videos on a thoroughbred I'm working with, dispelling some myths, showing how amazing these horses can be with good training. Great, we'll see you soon.